This is Larry Jordan, the host of the Digital Production Buzz. The following interview is an excerpt from a recent program. To hear the entire program, visit digitalproductionbuzz.com. Jon Chappell is an editor, post-production supervisor, and software developer originally from the UK. He's the owner of Digital Rebellion LLC, and his company's post-production software is used by freelancers, production companies, studios, and Fortune 500 companies worldwide to fix problems, optimize workflows, and manage teams. Hello, Jon. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Hello. Excuse me.
Did you say hello?
Yes, I did. Hello, Jon. Is this working? Okay. Jon, good to have you back.
The last time you were here a couple months ago, we began to talk about Kollaborate. And what I wanted to do is to talk in a lot more detail about how we can use Kollaborate to manage our projects and in workflow management. But before we talk about it in detail, describe what Kollaborate is.
Well, Kollaborate is a cloud workflow platform that's aimed at video professionals. And the idea is that you upload files to it and you can automatically share them with your colleagues and clients, and they can approve and reject them, they can leave comments, and then you can take that feedback and export it in a wide variety of ways, even bringing it back as markers into your NLE again.
Is it just for client review? I mean, are we loading proxies up to the web, or are we loading the source files? What's the process?
Well, a lot of our customers, in fact, the vast majority of our customers do use it for client review, but really it's file agnostic. You can upload any type of file. I'd say it's a lot closer to Dropbox than it is to YouTube. But what we try to do is offer you a lot of flexibility. So there are a variety of different ways of getting it to work. So we have uploading and transfer tools, we have folder watching apps, we have NLE plugins, or you can just upload via your web browser as well.
Who would be a typical client who's using this stuff?
We have a variety of different types of customers. We have one-man operations all the way to major studios. And I think the one way that we've managed to attract both types of customers is that Kollaborate is very scalable. And it'll work very well if you have a huge number of people on a project or a huge number of files. And it'll work just as well if you just have if it's just you and a few other people, or you just have a few files that you need to review.
When you say scalable, are we talking dozens of people, or are we talking a couple of 4 or 5 max, or what?
Well, we don't actually set a limit because really we offer you so many tools to manage things that essentially there's no upper limit. So we have departments, for example. You can organize, which are basically sandboxes. And so you can keep specific content away from certain people that don't need to see it, if it's irrelevant. And you can really get fine control over who sees what and who gets alerted and who doesn't get alerted.
Well, walk me through in some detail. Let's say I'm a 3-man editorial shop, and I've got clients which are scattered, say, around the city, but not necessarily around the world. When does Kollaborate start? What specifically am I uploading, and how am I uploading?
Well, as I say, it's file agnostic, so you can upload anything that you need to share with other people. So that could be project files, but as I say, a lot of people use it for either client or colleague review. And so it can be in progress cuts that people can give feedback on, or it could be a finished product that is a deliverable that you're sending to the client.
Okay, so we've uploaded. Can we upload more than one file at a time? Do we flag it with metadata, or what's the interface look like, and what's my control?
Well, as I say, we offer a variety of different ways of uploading. And so the controls you get kind of depend on the method that you choose. But my preferred way to do it is with a tool that we have called Kollaborate Transfer. And that just gives you a whole load of options and gives you a whole load of things that it'll do automatically. So I can upload a file and have it automatically send out links to clients.
To say that the file's available.
Yes. automatically, and I can just go to bed and just leave it to do its stuff.
Okay, so then the clients are using this. Can they annotate the video? Can they, and then how are those annotations assembled back for the editor?
They can leave comments, and they can also draw over the video as well. And you can export the comments back either as a text file, as a readable text file, or you can export to a variety of different editing apps as markers.
For what apps do you support?
For exporting the markers, we support Final Cut Pro 10, Premiere, Final Cut Pro 7, and Avid. Oh, and EDIUS as well.
So the comments can actually be markers which are synced to the time code of, so they just load that up in their editing app and make whatever changes they need to make.
Yeah, the exact process depends on which app you're using. For Avid, it'll natively import markers, so that's pretty easy. For the other apps, we have a free tool called Marker Import, and that's available for Mac and PC.
Can we talk to each other while we're doing this, commenting, or is it just text only?
You mean audio chat?
Yeah, audio chat.
No, that's not a service that's available, but you could do that through other means, through Skype.
Through Skype or
phone.
We could use a telephone.
Yeah.
No, come on. So 1990s.
So here's a question. Mm-hmm. We recently received a batch of files from our producer who's been working with Kollaborate. Mm-hmm. And Serena said, these are some really cool video files you have to look at. And we discovered that she sent us 20 files that were magnificent in quality. Mm-hmm. And there's no batch download button. So how do we download a bunch of files? And the bigger question is, as we use this, how do we report features that we'd like to see in the software? So first, how do we download a bunch of files?
Well, how was she doing that, first of all?
She was using a
Dropbox or what?
Shoveling. No, we use Kollaborate.
Oh, you use Kollaborate?
Yes, we were collaborating.
Oh, this is a good question, then. This is a hard question, John. All right, John, go ahead.
Well, that's more of a browser limitation.
Really?
Because I don't know if you've noticed if you try to do a batch download in Dropbox or Google Drive, it'll say your file is being prepared, and then it will take 20 minutes, and then it sends you an email with a link. And that's because you can't initiate multiple downloads in a browser. So that's not currently a service we offer, but we do make the download button easily available on the files page. So you could just sort of click multiple times, I guess. That would be the easiest way of doing that. And it's something we would like to add, but it needs to have better browser support.
See, it needs the browser, Michael. If you'd have known that, you wouldn't have had to ask that question.
It was a good question.
It was a good question. It was driving our guys nuts, by the way. So we said we would find out. But it gets to a bigger question. How do we report features that we would like to have the software do? And how do you process those internally?
There's a feedback link on the left-hand side of every page. Click that, and there's a text field, and you can just enter a note to us.
John, I'm sure you're aware of there's a whole bunch of people doing what Kollaborate does.
Yes.
And when you came up with the concept of Kollaborate, what was special about Kollaborate versus the other ones that you were looking at?
Well,
why did you want to do something that's already been done? Because you thought you could do it better?
Well, there's that, and there's also the fact that we're one of the few companies in this industry that's not a startup. So we had a wide range of tools, a history of making tools for video professionals. And so when we created Kollaborate, what we did is we went back and we re-engineered a lot of our existing tools to work with the cloud. And so the primary advantage that we offer is that as well as the cloud service, you get a whole load of helper apps thrown in. And we have video players for Mac and iOS. We have uploaders. We have note-taking apps. We have a wide range of tools, project management tools, all sorts of things.
Now, speaking of all those tools, I mean, because Kollaborate is its own separate website, even though it's on the Digital Rebellion website. But products like the Pro Maintenance tools and Pro Media tools and all those, which are must-haves. I mean, you have them. I know that, Larry, and I have them. Anybody who uses any NLE has to have Digital Rebellion tools because it solves so many problems, especially when you have it at 1 o'clock in the morning, which is when everybody has a problem.
Yes.
and you just run some of your tools through the thing, it'll fix it. I guarantee it.
What is it that got you involved in utilities in the first place? What caught your fancy?
Several years ago, I was working as an editor, and I had a very unreliable computer and some very strict deadlines, and I had to come up with a wide variety of methods of just trying to solve problems and getting my edit out on time. And then I thought, well, why am I doing all this manually? I can automate this stuff. And then I started hanging around the forums, and I realized a lot of people are having the same problems over and over again. Someone could just automate all of this. And that's how it was born, really.
A lot of people have the idea of coming up with a utility, but you had both the idea and the skill. There's a big difference there. Because Mike is absolutely right. The pro maintenance tools that you have for NLEs are just amazing. And I can't tell you how many times I've used compressor repair to get compressor repaired so I can get stuff done again. With the Kollaborate, to get back to that, how do we manage teams? How do we put a team together? How many people can be on a team? And can we knock people off, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
The exact number of people on your team depends on the package that you have.
For instance?
With the base package, it's 5 people per team. The next one up is 15. And it goes up to, I don't even know, it's something like 150.
Now, how do you define a team? Is a team both client and is on both sides of the equation, or is it just 5 people internally in my organization, for instance?
It's sort of a gray area, really, because it's 5 individual...
Excuse me? Shoot.
It's 5 individual people on the team page, which could be clients, could be colleagues, but you can share a file externally as a link an unlimited number of times. So really, you could say that there are 2 tiers of users. There are users in the project who have a bit more access and a few more capabilities, and then you have people outside the project that you can send links to, and it's a bit more limited for them, but it's useful for the client that you need to send things to on a one-off basis.
Kollaborate works with cut notes.
That's right.
Which is a really cool tool, by the way. And that's another one of your tools. How does it work with cut notes?
Okay, well, what cut notes is it's an iPad app for taking notes synced to a timecode source, and that could be Pro Tools, it could be Final Cut. It's a wide variety of sources, but one of those sources is also Kollaborate. So what you can actually do is sync to the timecode directly in your web browser, and then use the tool as an easy way to take notes while sitting back and being away from your keyboard.
Isn't that cool?
My big concern about cloud-based stuff is security. How are we handling security so my pre-release stuff doesn't get released without my permission?
Right. Well, we have industrial-grade security enabled on our server. Everything's encrypted. In addition to that, you get a lot of controls within your project. As I mentioned earlier, you can sort things into departments. You can bar specific people from seeing things, and it's completely private. So only people you invite or people you send a link out to can even see any of the files. But on top of that, if that's not enough for you, if you have serious concerns about that, or you have government contracts or something like that, then you can host in-house as well. That's an option we offer.
So you would provide a Kollaborate server for us?
Mm-hmm. Not the hardware, but the software to run.
That's what I meant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah. I mean, I know we were talking about this earlier about security. I mean, it's we're not IRS, we're not Target, we're not those places that get hit daily. We're not the Defense Department. I mean, who the heck wants to hit us anyway? But You have your paranoia, Larry, and it's understandable because it's like they're out there and they can thwart you no matter how much security that you have.
Right.
Thank you.
So therefore, just don't put anything in the cloud. Don't buy Kollaborate. You're screwed.
Thinking of buying, you've actually got some very aggressive pricing. How is it priced?
Well, we try to reward people who pay for a full year in advance. The month-to-month package is really aimed at people who are only going to be working on a project for a few months, and so we offer a very steep discount for people who go for the full year. And so on the base package, which gives you 15 gigs of storage, 5 users, that's $180 a year, which works out to $15 per month if you pay for the full year in advance.
And the next step up?
The next one up is 30 gigs and 15 users, and that's $300 a year, which works out at $25 per month.
Still a great price.
Just, yeah.
$15 a month for 5 users, 15 gigs, and $25 a month for 30 gigs and 10 users?
15.
15.
Where is the server?
Where's it located?
Yeah.
Well, we have several servers, but primarily the web server is on the East Coast.
Oh, okay.
So you have to send the files all the way to the East Coast, Mike. And
It's a really far way.
I should mention the files aren't stored on that server.
for people that want to learn more, John, where can they go on the web?
They can go to kollaborate.tv, and that's collaborate with a K.
K, yes.
That's Collab.
Yeah, it's a really amazing
Kollab.
product, as all Digital Rebellion products are.
Kollabo. That's Kollaborate. Kollaborate. You got to get an easier name. Kollaborate.tv.
Don't worry,
And
Google will spell it right for you.
Digitalrebellion.com. And Jon Chappell is the CEO of Digital Rebellion. John, thanks for taking the time to join us today.
Thanks, John.
Thanks for
It's
having
been
me.
fun.
Thank you.